I used to think monsters under the bed were just stories, a childhood fear, a silly shadow trick. But when I stayed in my niece Lily's room, she grabbed my hand in the dark and whispered, "Don't look under the bed." I laughed. She didn't. That night, I looked, and something looked back. Now, every night at 3:33, I hear scratching under my bed, and I'm starting to wonder if it followed me home. I can't tell anyone this story. Not my sister, not anyone. Every time I try, I hear that whisper again. I need to get this out before it's too late. Last summer, my sister Laura asked me to babysit her 6-year-old daughter, Lily, for a weekend. They lived in an old house, creaky floors, dark corners. Lily was quiet, always holding her stuffed rabbit. I got there at dusk. The house felt wrong, like it was holding its breath. Lily greeted me, but her eyes kept flicking to her bedroom door, like she was hiding something. Lily wasn't herself. She barely spoke, just hugged her rabbit and said, "It's okay, Aunt Emma. I know how to keep it happy." Her words made my skin crawl. Keep what happy? I tucked Lily into her small bedroom. A nightlight glowed, and her drawings, stick figures, some with long, twisted arms, covered the walls. I read her a story, but she kept staring at the bed. As I turned off the light, Lily grabbed my hand. "Aunt Emma, don't look under the bed. It doesn't like it," she whispered. I laughed it off, but her face was pale, terrified. I stayed in Lily's room, sleeping on the floor. A clock on her nightstand was stuck at 3:33, its hands frozen. The house creaked constantly, and I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Around midnight, I woke up. The nightlight was dim, and Lily's stuffed rabbit had fallen to the floor near the bed. The clock still read 3:33, like time wasn't moving. I reached for the rabbit, but froze. Something felt wrong, like eyes staring from the dark gap under the bed. The shadows there were too thick, swallowing the light. As I pulled back, Lily whispered, "Don't look under the bed." She was asleep, eyes closed, but her voice was sharp. My heart pounded. How was she speaking? I told myself kids talk in their sleep. I grabbed the rabbit, placed it by Lily, and lay down. But the room felt heavier, and the clock hadn't budged. Still 3:33. Then I heard it, scratching, like nails on wood, coming from under the bed. I held my breath, hoping it was the house. But the sound grew louder, deliberate. Lily stirred, eyes shut. "Don't look, Aunt Emma. It's my friend, but it gets mad," she whispered. I tried to wake her, but she just gripped her blanket like she was used to this. Lily's face was tense but calm, like she'd lived with this fear forever. She'd called it her friend to survive. I whispered, "What's under there, Lily?" She didn't answer, just shivered. I should have listened, but I couldn't stop myself. I grabbed my phone, turned on the flashlight, and pointed it at the gap under the bed. The darkness seemed to push back. I leaned down, phone shaking. The light showed dust, a sock. Then something moved, a pale, jerky limb pulling back. I yanked the phone away, my breath catching. Had I seen that? I looked at Lily, her face twisted in a nightmare, still asleep. The scratching grew faster, angrier, like it knew I'd looked. Lily's voice cut through, loud and cold. "You looked. It knows you now." Her eyes were shut, hands clenched. I called her name, but she was gone, lost in sleep. I shone the light again. A long, thin shadow slithered under the bed, unattached to anything. It stretched toward the edge, like it was reaching for me. My body wouldn't move. I forced the light deeper. There it was, pale, bony, limbs too long, curled in the corner. Its twisted body wasn't human, but it was alive. It turned. Black eyes, like wet stones, glinted. It hissed, and the bed shook, claws scraping wood. I screamed, dropping my phone, the light flickering out. The room closed in. I grabbed Lily, shaking her. She was limp, whispering, "It's awake, it's mad." I pulled her to the door, my hands slick with sweat. At the door, I saw Lily's drawings. One showed a faceless figure with long arms, black eyes labeled "My Friend." It was under a bed, watching. My stomach dropped. The door wouldn't open, like something held it shut. I noticed the rabbit's sock and a drawing on the floor. Without thinking, I picked them up, placing each one back near the bed. The scratching stopped. I'd done something wrong. I placed the drawing last, and the air changed. The bed creaked, like something heavy shifted. Lily whispered, "You gave it what it wanted." I realized I'd completed a ritual, waking it fully. The door still wouldn't budge. I jammed a chair under the handle, heart racing. A raspy breathing filled the room, coming from under the bed. The clock read 3:33, its hands trembling. The door gave way. I scooped Lily up and ran, hallway, front door, into the cold night. I didn't look back, but a shadow moved in the window. Later, I found an old article in Laura's attic. A child vanished from that house decades ago, leaving drawings just like Lily's. Laura didn't believe me, but they moved out. Lily stopped sleeping in that room. A week later, I found a drawing in my apartment. Long arms, black eyes, labeled Aunt Emma's friend. As I picked it up, I froze. The strokes were identical to drawings I made as a child. That night, I heard scratching under my bed. What was under that bed? Have you ever seen something in the dark you can't explain? Tell me in the comments, and stay with Nightmare Tales for our next story, about a car in the woods and a message that said, "Don't find me." It'll haunt you.